welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
To get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously.
As President of the United States, I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance.
Let's eliminate all of that.
But would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes.
The food pyramid. What people
yes.
To reduce red meat specifically.
Yes, I would.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
This whole movement is about rightly saying we need to take a look at these budgets.
Harris asserted that ICE is perceived as the modern-day Ku Klux Klan.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
That puts ICE in the same category as the KKK. Is that what you're asking me? I see no parallel.
I'm not finished.
I see none.
And yeah, I am radical. We need to get radical about what we are doing.
Snatch their patent so that we will take over. And yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. It's the question is, do you have the will to do?
I'm speaking right now, and I value and respect your voice, but I'm speaking right now. Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Yeah, you can have 15 more.
Everyone's voice matters, but I am speaking now. I am speaking now. So I respect your voices, but we are here to now talk about this race in 2024.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
You ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like
I inhaled. I did inhale.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. What's the other thing we know about this population? And it's a specific phase of life. Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. A whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
Do you plan to visit the border?
Not today.
Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian, but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes.
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent.
Say is personally, I have had interactions with Kamala Harris, and what I can tell you, and I actually just addressed this with reporters outside the Capitol, is for a woman that champions the fact that she is a minority, I'm also a minority woman, but she has done nothing for Hispanic women and children that have been trafficked at the U.S.-Mexico border, because the Democrat Party has really used this open border talking point in an effort to sway Hispanic American voters, which are now the largest voting minority in the country. And so, their open border policies are hurting all Americans, specifically the Black communities, specifically the Hispanic communities.
And I actually moved to San Francisco over 20 years ago when Kamala Harris was running for district attorney at the her first run for office. And so I got to know her up close through the campaign. She was running as the conservative candidate in terms of tough on crime against her very liberal boss. And that's what she sold herself as to the voting public. And she won against her boss. And then she immediately took a hard left turn and abandoned all of her promises to the voters. And I think that's kind of whatever her promises are, I think you can count on her abandoning them when something better comes along. That's a guiding principle, if you will,